For over a decade, we were sold a story of faith, family, and a love that multiplied. We watched them build homes, raise children, and navigate a life most of us could never imagine. Their biggest asset, we were told, was their unity, their family. But that wasn't the truth. The real asset wasn't a home, and it wasn't the land. It was their story itself, the rights to their lives, their heartbreaks, their triumphs, broadcast to millions. Behind the scenes, the business of being the Browns became bigger than the Browns themselves. What started as a show about family turned into a brand, a living, breathing franchise built on the idea of plural love. But while fans believed they were watching a family hold on to each other, what was really happening was a slow unraveling, carefully edited into episodes that hid the fractures just long enough to keep the cameras rolling. Each wife brought her own hopes into the story. Mary, the loyal first wife, who believed she was building something sacred. Yanel, the practical one, who carried the weight of finances and stability. Christine, the heart of the family, whose faith and warmth made the plural dream seem possible. And then Robyn, the newcomer who changed everything. When she arrived, so did contracts, management rights, and new financial structures. Love became a legal arrangement, and family turned into business. It wasn't just about marriage anymore. It was about ownership, of homes, of footage, of names. Even the kids became part of the narrative machine. The network knew the value of the Brown brand, and the Browns knew it too. They signed deals, filmed confessions, and built homes that doubled as sets. But somewhere between faith and fame, they lost control of the story they thought they were telling. The biggest moments that defined them on screen, the move from Utah, the building of Coyote Pass, the weddings and separations, weren't just family milestones. They were production arcs, carefully timed for ratings. Every tear, every argument, every reconciliation had a dollar sign attached. The show became their income, their identity, and their trap. Mary's catfishing scandal wasn't just a betrayal. It was a symptom of isolation. A woman who gave decades of her life to a family suddenly found herself replaced, emotionally cut off, and living in a storyline that no longer had space for her. Yanel's independence wasn't rebellion, it was survival. Christine's departure wasn't drama, it was freedom. And Robyn's tears, whether real or rehearsed, became the emotional anchor of the show, keeping viewers invested in the illusion of unity. When the money started to fade, the fractures grew deeper. My Sister Wife's Closet, the family's jewelry business, was supposed to represent empowerment and legacy. But in reality, it was a shell, a front for shifting production money, personal expenses, and false hope. Thousands were invested, but little returned. The dream of a plural business turned into another financial wound. Then came the nanny. The $80,000 salary wasn't just for childcare. It was for silence, for loyalty, for protecting an image that was already crumbling. Mindy Jessup, Robyn's niece and the family nanny, wasn't just an employee. She was a witness, someone who saw what the cameras didn't. The exhaustion, the resentment, the arguments about who would film, and who would get paid. By the time the show reached its later seasons, the illusion of equality was gone. Kody wasn't a husband to 4 women anymore. He was a brand manager, controlling access, contracts, and appearances. The wives weren't partners, they were storylines. Fans began to notice. The comments shifted from admiration to disbelief. What was once sold as love now looked like manipulation. What was once a united front now looked like a collapsing empire. The network didn't stop the cameras. They leaned in. They knew heartbreak sells. And so, even as the family split apart, the show kept going. Because the real product wasn't love or faith, it was content. Every split, every emotional confession, every tearful goodbye was another episode, another headline, another check. In the end, the Browns built an empire out of their lives. But the price was everything they claimed to stand for. The land at Coyote Pass remains unfinished. The dreams of a united family are gone. The kids have grown up, many choosing a different path, far from the cameras. And the viewers, us, are left with the question, was it ever real? Or was it all just a contract written in emotion, edited in pain, and sold as entertainment? Because in the world of reality TV, the truth isn't what you live, it's what you let them film.